This week on the program, is it 2006 or 2013? Either way, we're talking Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. I'm Andrew Jupin.
I am never had a driver's license king, Steven Sada.
I am vroom vroom beep beep.
Chris Cabin.
And we hate movies. Hello, everyone. Welcome to We Hate Movies. Thank you for tuning in. As always, that's right. We're talking the third entry in the very popular Fast and Furious franchise, Tokyo Drift, directed by Justin Lin. This was his first one of these, and he would go on to do 4, 5, 6, and then 9, and then almost direct 10 until Vin Diesel got him fired.
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, if anybody's seen the video of Justin Lin like doing a message from the set and Vin Diesel hovering over him, it is one of the most uncomfortable videos I've seen in a while.
I have not seen this. What movie was for that?
It was when they
For
were
X?
filming X, I think, when they started.
Oh,
So this
wow.
video got him fired, you're saying?
Well, no, I think it had already, he had already probably quit at this point. It was like literally the day of this video comes
So
out.
what was the beef there?
I think that Vin Diesel is
Control.
really particular about these
Yes.
movies.
Oh, yeah.
Right? He's like, no, do it worse. Make it worse.
Well, because
Stupider.
these are his like legacy. You know, this is
Isn't
his
that
legacy. This
sad?
franchise is his legacy.
Yeah. This is, I mean, if for him, I think probably, the Rock thing probably spooked the horses for Vin
Yes.
a bit.
Yeah.
And he probably put the pressure on Justin Lin, and he was rightly like, fuck this. I've already directed a bunch of blockbusters. I have the ticket for this.
Right.
It's fine. Fuck this.
I guess Vin Diesel really needs to hold on to this because then afterward, what is he going to do? He's not going to be an old-timey actor, right?
I think even the I Am Groot train is drying up. I think this is the last ride with Groot.
Precisely, man. And I think that's why, you're the face of this multi-billion-dollar franchise.
Yeah.
And if it's like the only, big thing you've done
The
in a
music
way.
career was going to kick.
Oh, that's
I
right.
feel like I do.
When you got the vibes, when you feel like I do.
No,
I would
I
love
love
to
how
s-
the production makes it sound like it's underwater. Yeah, the production does that. that's yeah.
It'd be great to see him live, catch one of those live days.
Absolutely.
He's dancing, his choreography.
Oh,
I'm sure
dude,
it's
the thing
spectacular.
about it, man, I heard the reason why he had to stop touring around with that record was the show, the music was so complicated. It was like when the Beatles couldn't tour anymore.
Yeah, of
'cause,
course.
you can't do on stage what he's doing in the studio.
Right.
You just can't do
It's
it.
just too much talent.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just too much talent.
Speaking of
gonna-
too much talent, Lucas Black stepping in.
Holy fuck.
Twang.
He's in his mid-20s
Yes.
playing a 17-year-old.
Sure.
The
Yeah.
forehead of my Uncle Jim.
Holy fucking this fucking the monsters over here.
He's gonna have to play the Friday Night Lights thing. Means he has to play a Texan forever.
Yeah.
I get the
Well,
feeling.
that Sling Blade even earlier, my friend.
Oh,
he's,
yeah.
he's the
Oh,
kid
yeah.
from
Yeah.
Sling Blade.
Well, I think he's like from
Alabama, I think.
So
Yes,
that accent ain't going nowhere.
No,
Chris
it's not.
Cabin. And if anything, you want that dude to continue playing characters from where he's from, because otherwise you can't cover that thing up for shit.
But speaking of can't cover up, I'll say it again. His head is nearly Tarantonian. It is so enormous. And I say this as a man with a huge fucking cassava melon sitting on these short shoulders.
sure.
I think that this movie, so clearly I couldn't find it anywhere, but Diesel said no. Paul Walker, they said was too old for this movie, but there was a couple different drafts.
He
Who
looks
knows?
younger than Lucas Black.
He truly
Yeah.
does. He looks younger now.
Come on.
Uh-huh.
That's awful.
I know it's not nice. Clearly somebody, and I think that this is a good idea. It's like, you know what? Our audience is really young. Let's move this into high school.
Sure.
Mhm.
Not the worst idea. Fast
No.
and Furious high school adventure. Okay.
Sure, yeah.
Now we're in Japan. Question mark, sure. Once the Yakuza shows up, then
Yes.
you can't have the high school movie anymore. This kid cannot be taking finals and be doing runs for the Yakuza.
I don't know about that because
Chris he used to do it.
I did runs. Karate Kid or all those kinds of movies. you are always just a touch away from the mafia
Yeah.
or from some local crime lord.
And also, Steve, like, LOL to your idea that this kid cares about his schoolwork.
That's
What are
a
you
good point.
fucking kidding me?
Well, I mean, they should.
this has dropout written all over that big fucking forehead.
Oh yeah.
'Cause they
It's
don't-
F for forehead.
Well, they tell him, they're like, "Oh, hey man, you got to go to Japan," which we'll get into. And he's like, "Well, I don't speak no Japanese. I guess I failed every class. Weird.
Yes, I
That's
do.
it. That's it for me, folks.
Yeah, I mean,
I took my shoes off though. Does that get me into them there points?
no, but it also
A
doesn't
plus-
get anyone some fucking cultural laughs either. Oh, I gotta wear little slippers inside. Isn't that weird? Oh, it's weird.
Oh no, I love F for forehead. You see the illusion of Lucas Black's forehead making him look like he is attractive when he is in fact a Tarantino in nightmare. Thank you for the steak. Thank you for delivering the steak.
F is for fake. Fantastic Orson Welles mockumentary. If you don't
Where-
know what Chris is talking
Where
about.
is,
he
it is
eats a
good.
humongous steak in the middle of it, and it's
so good.
phenomenal.
It's so fucking
one of the
good.
best.
Every movie should stop for a steak
Yes.
dinner.
Orson Welles eating a steak,
Dude,
poetry.
Eric, I like that. Everyone's fucking kvetching up and down the block about like we need intermissions back in these
Yes,
long movies. How
yes.
about steak break?
Yeah,
I love it.
Just a little steak break. The movie goes off. Everybody gets a nice little steak.
it
Chow
just,
No,
down.
you have to film the characters eating a
Yes.
steak dinner as
So,
well.
In that,
Yes.
in the new Scorsese, you see Leonardo DiCaprio up there slowly eating a steak while
Yeah.
you eat your own steak.
Exactly.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
even better. It's like he's fucking yelling at Lily Gladstone about something in the movie, and then he turns and he's like, "Now, everybody, here comes the steak break portion of Killers of the Flower Moon."
you also have to have the waiter come in and serve it, much like a perfect. You can't just have it there ready to go.
That's
No.
true.
I want to see the work that goes
Pomp
into this.
and circumstance.
Exactly. This is
Bumblebee, I can't believe you took 2 spoonfuls of sauteed spinach. That's the best side.
You know, when you get a bunch of sides for the table at a steakhouse, it's to share. Not one person gets the roasted spinach and another person gets the fried potatoes. We are sharing all of it, Bumblebee, you pig.
This is such a great idea because then for home video, you could cut it out.
Yeah.
And then
Sure.
that's a special feature.
That's
Just
a special
35 minutes with Optimus Prime trying to eat a steak with his fucking car teeth.
God damn it! Why do they call it smashed potatoes? It's just mashed potatoes with some skins.
You know, I'm not sending it back, but this is definitely medium, not medium rare. I'm not going to be an asshole about it, but look how brown this is on the inside. That's not what I wanted.
Oh, if I had known that the Caesar salad preparation was tableside, I would have said no. This is so uncomfortable. I'm sitting here trying to have a conversation with you, Vivian, while some freak show's making a salad 6 inches away.
I'm glad they dribbled butter, garlic, and what tastes like chlorine on this shit.
It's crazy with all Caesar accomplished in his life. He took time to invent a salad.
Yeah, I mean,
Totally. I mean,
one of the best
that
ever do it salad wise.
He was busy.
Yeah,
busy
he was-
beaver, that
he was
Caesar.
like, give me some weird cheese on there.
Can I have more bread in my salad? Just big pieces of bread in my salad.
This salad could use a hunk of chicken.
Yeah, that's when Caesar crossed the crouton.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
This is Dennis-
Crouticon?
yeah,
E for education, as
Yes.
always.
Also, yes.
On this show.
Dennis Millerian we're becoming in our old age.
I love the opening of this where it's like, oh, Lucas Black is in a bad school. And
Oh,
he's
yeah,
like,
metal detail.
getting
that-
patted down.
I was like, is this a bad school thing, or is this like, hey kids out there, Columbine happened?
Well, did you?
it ain't going to be me, though.
So did you hear it though when he walks into the school?
No.
Dun, 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 dun. What's that?
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun. It the fuck it. Once he fucking sees him, you hear it. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
I can't believe Zachary Ty Bryant is in this film.
It's
Oh, my
wild.
God.
It is wild, man. Like Tim the Two Man Taylor's one son that definitely participated in Jan 6, Zachary Ty Bryan.
He's probably the most likely. I got to give it to
Yep.
him.
Right?
Yep.
We're talking about the fictional character. I'm sure he's a very nice guy.
Yeah, I think this dude has some shitty personal
Oh,
issues
really?
in the real world
Okay,
too.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess they all do, right?
Yeah.
All of Holly
Sure.
Weird, their fucking dark cabals they get up to.
I mean, it doesn't matter because this dude's in 5 to 10 minutes of this movie, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
The most important because like it's
Yeah.
just he's going around like, oh man, I don't fit in this school or nothing. And
Which is weird because it seems like he would.
Yeah, why not? They're all
dumb,
gearheads.
they're all dumb like Texans with big heads too. What, you know?
Well, I don't know where this is. I would imagine it's supposed to be Los
Is it
Angeles.
somewhere else?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
All I know is that Zachary Ty Bryan calls him trailer trash at some point.
Sure.
And he doesn't have, he's not even trying to do an accent. So it's not like a,
No.
The kids that are they seem LA-ish. I will
Yes.
give you that.
Sure.
And I don't know if that's just actorly business.
Yeah.
Or because of like, but like, yeah, it is because he's poor. Like that's the
geez,
reason
I'm
he's not.
starting school here at America Town, and I don't know. I just don't fit in, really.
Well, it's kind of weird. It must be California at least because they race through the still unfinished development from Lethal Weapon 3.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe we didn't
It's the
finish
same
those-
one?
They haven't
I
finished
hope
those
so.
houses.
yeah, there's a guy running around on fire at some point.
oh, dude, you drove through the Blutz model home as well.
Yeah, it's all the same development, dude. They still haven't finished any of those houses.
But I mean, I think the beginning of this movie makes a ton of sense where it's like, oh man, I'm in the wrong school. And it's like, hey man, you looking at my girl. Like, it's just such high school movie bullshit.
Oh,
where
yeah.
I'm like, this is the movie that I kind of want.
I
Actually.
love seeing how apathetic he is to everything because it's like he's got his arms raised in the air during the pat down. He looks at the guy next to him who is entering the school in the school mascot costume.
Sure.
I feel like you put that on in the locker room
Yeah.
later.
He's a lifer, dude. He's into it.
That's true.
Yeah.
And they're both looking like it's a living, like getting
Yes.
wanded down and whatever. Then he walks past the jocks. There's like seemingly some sort of parking lot pep rally in where you better believe we are Zachary Ty Bryan leading the charge, beating the shit out of a Native American shaped pinata.
Oh, really?
yeah.
I missed, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right there, dude. And the fucking details on this pinata are a scotch uncomfortable. That happens, and then the fucking funniest one, like, because this whole movie is about him learning to like stand up and do what's right and interfere when history calls for it.
Mm.
And it was not during fucking automotive class where a bunch of bullies drag this fat kid out
my
of the
God.
fucking garage and just start spraying gasoline on his tummy or oil.
They're filming it. Like, what? Do you go to school at Guantanamo Bay? Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Especially the fat kid. Somebody needs to be like, all right, hey. Later on, when what is right about here, when like he's throwing baseballs at cars and shit, and this huge fight is happening, nary a teacher to be found.
There's no
Right,
administrators.
yeah.
Even in fucking Tokyo, you only get like his one teacher who like
Yes.
gives him guff, and there's like the language barrier, and that's the
There-
joke. And then
Yeah.
when they're fighting on the roof of the school, no fucking administrator,
No.
nobody, no
And
teacher, no
Japan
nothing.
is famous for administrating.
Yes.
They're very
love
big on it. And fucking Mr. Mancuso's getting fucking fired. He let these fucking kids have the gasoline for that. Are you fucking kidding me? Lock it up from
And
now
the
on.
gag in that shot too is like, how are they possibly getting away with this? Because the teacher is literally sleeping at the
Yeah.
desk.
I see.
And he's like, hey, I'm the only one working on cars down here.
The screams didn't wake him up.
They all doing
the
a-
guttural screams.
They all doing a Full Metal Jacket on that fat kid over there. But I'm the one trying to get an A+ on the
They are
cars.
dragging him, and this kid is screaming like he's being taken to the prison showers.
I mean, dude, it's fucking terrifying what they're doing
Yeah.
to this kid.
oh, it's also kind of funny.
But he's flirting. He goes to his car, and like the sexy girl is like, "Hey man, hey new
Yeah.
kid, nice ride or whatever." And that therein, he's flirting with her. Zachary Ty Bryan's, "Hey, you talking to my girl? Get out of there! You need to talk to my girl. I own her."
Oh, no, you don't. I have agency. Whoever wins the race gets me.
Oh,
this girl-
Oh my God!
This
Whoever
girl, no
wins-
respect for herself. Also,
Can Dale-
really ready to die tonight.
Anyone who wins this race can Dale Earnhardt my back wall.
Yes.
Jesus
One
Christ!
time only, number three.
It's such a weird stake being like, because we do get the classic Lucas Black's character goes, "I want to race for pink slips."
Yeah, of course.
So we got that callback to the first film.
I feel like that this Lucas Black, Sean, whatever, says that because that kid saw the first Fast and
Oh, I
Furious
see.
movies.
right.
But the beginning is very much like the end of the movie, which is like a surfer movie, like from the 1960s. Or like,
Yeah.
whoever wins gets me. It's like, we'll have the big race at the end, and then you got to leave
And
leave
like-
the beach
ju-
forever.
Like those beach towel movies or whatever. I should actually watch them before I criticize them. But this character has no character.
No.
What does he's just, you go up to his head and it's just a picture of wheels moving around.
Yeah.
What is this character?
He's got nothing.
Zero.
He's just brooding.
Zero interest besides cars, and
Yes.
that's only even vaguely. I feel like I
least
need
like
more.
Australian girls too. He likes
Yeah.
them.
Could I just wager? Sometimes that's all those folks have going. Like you're just
Okay.
so single-minded. Like
Yeah.
car, pussy, car, pussy.
Even
But
like, you know,
any like a song.
yeah.
Put Bawitaba on.
He's hit and play. He's the one.
Yes.
You know a lot
my
about this guy.
God.
He likes cars. He's interested in pussy.
I take
he
it back.
Loves,
He's a well illustrated character.
loves
Kid Rock fan.
Rock.
Yeah.
Loves. There's your song.
Lot
There's
of-
the big song of the movie.
It gives you a lot of interiority. Eric.
Hates both of his parents.
I would like to know any aspirations besides I'm getting over the race. I got the race. I got the end of the race
You
first.
can't do that when you live your life a quarter mile at a time. What are you thinking? You don't think about the fucking future.
You
Only
don't
quarter
think.
mile in front of you.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time, but this one's specifically a dirt road.
Yeah, and you get a quarter of a minute of intimate action with
See,
him.
Dirt Road would be interesting if they stuck this, kept it in America, and really
Yes.
dug in on like the Southern or whatever the fuck we're doing,
Yeah,
Sure.
sure.
and explore that.
I'm putting this kid in Japan is such a ridiculous
It's
idea.
stupid.
But it's smart in the sense that it opens you up to the drifting culture, which is to say, not the like the street racing we
Yes.
saw. So it's like it's something
Yes,
different.
it is.
This is one of the, we were talking about this last week, I think. It's Weinstein brain shit. Tokyo Drift sounds cool.
Sure does.
Minnesota Drift does not sound cool. California Drift doesn't even sound that cool.
Alabama drift? Oh man, we'd be drifting our cars a lot out here.
Yeah, we've been Alabama Drift. This is the last song for the night. You all have been fantastic.
Yeah, that's right. There's Jesse the Body Venture. I'm drifted off. That's Minnesota Drift.
Yeah, I drifted a little bit. Don't get drafted. I got drifted.
They don't tell you this, but they send you to a completely different Asian island to fight when you're drifted and not drafted.
The cars don't draft it. The goddamn government does.
You better hope you're getting drafted, because if you're getting drifted, guess what? You're fighting aliens. That's what they don't tell you. But if you get a drift card, you're going to space to fight the predator.
I never would burn my drift card because, man, I just love to know that knowing that there's something else out there and then hunting and killing it is very exciting to me.
I mean, in my final days, I might want to go to Jupiter. I don't know.
I was fighting for Jupiter citizenship.
I was on that ship with Tommy Lee Jones and Ad Astra. I got off early because he was acting wackadoo.
I'm the guy who let out the monkey before I left.
It's the only way I could survive.
Also, that space station Sparrows was the best Sparrows I ever. Was it Sparrows? What's the thing?
Applebee's and Hudson News.
Oh, Applebee's. That's the restaurant.
Oh,
those riblets are really fantastic in the Ad Astra Applebee's.
And you know what, Hudson News? I know it's the moon and everything, but $6,000 for a bottle of water? Come on, guys.
Also, these magazines are a bit old. The Pope is already dead.
How do you shell out a bold Chex Mix? You want to tell me that? How do you shell out of that?
You know, I understand it's a space station and sometimes getting stock back up here for the store might be difficult, but holy shit, man, how do you only have the sour watermelon Sour Patch candy and not the OG Sour Kids? It's just stupid.
I'm stopping off here on my way to Jupiter, and now all my snacks are messed up.
I operate on a very strict and finicky snack schedule, and you're fucking it up, Ad Astra Hudson News.
No, of course I don't need the bag. Look at what I got with me here. What do you think? I don't need a bag.
I would much rather watch Minnesota Drift.
Oh, yeah. That's what Jesse Ventura fighting aliens on Jupiter.
Yeah, he's listening to the Replacements all day.
How could you not?
I got two things wrong with that title.
Yeah. Okay. So it's Minnesota Drift. I like that, and it's
We watching some kind of hockey movie.
well, no, Jesse, it's you fighting aliens in the moons of Jupiter.
Okie dokie, sounds great to me, brother.
But so yeah, it's like, hey, whoever wins gets to date this super hot girl. This movie is Maxim Magazine hot.
Tits.
Yeah. So we even, speaking of this first race, it's called, the what do you call it? The checkered flag here. It's a bra.
Oh yeah, totally. Not only is it a bra, man, because we have to have a cool, like, they whiz by it and it gets caught in the updraft or whatever. So it is a CGI'd bra.
It is for sure.
Ooh.
And then we have the Home Improvement kid in like a 2003 Dodge. And then Lucas Black in the Evil Dead Oldsmobile.
Yeah. Well, it's not the car, it's the racer.
Yeah, remember that. Yeah.
This is when we play Bawitaba, and I mean, we play it in its entirety.
We bought it.
We
We bought it. We're playing it.
You bought it indeed, dude.
Kids at home, that song was 7 years old by the time this movie came out.
Now, kids at home, if you don't know what we're talking about, the mean man that shot some of the Bud Light cans with an automatic weapon, but not all of them somehow. So the mean man with the bad aim with a machine gun.
Yeah, the guy that looks like Dr. Phil with the long hair.
Who used to write rap rock instead of piss water country music or whatever he thinks he's doing nowadays.
A little bit of mixture of it, but yeah.
And so he had the big hit song, Bawitaba.
He should take his own fucking example, man, and get in the pit and try and love someone
That's
instead
true.
of shooting up Bud Light, love the people that love Bud Light.
Joe C's looking down from heaven, just like he's so disappointed in that guy.
Disgusting
He's
disgusting
disgusted with
behavior.
it. Yeah, you also had folks at home. You had a little friend for a while, Joe C, who sometimes got in on the raps or something. I think the only thing you don't, because I was listening, because we're revving engines over this or whatever.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that's not in there is the whole like, if you don't like Kid Rock, you can suck my radio edit.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I do remember that. And Josie passed, I believe, before Josie's passed, right?
Joe C's been dead for 15, 20
Josie
years.
passed before Kid Rock, and to quote the man himself, only God knows why. I really wish it was the other way around. It is not.
I saw Kid Rock live once. Dude.
What?
Did you Rock the Bells tour?
No, it was a dysfunctional plan. It was a festival.
Okay.
Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, I was there.
You were buying tickets for Kid Rock.
No, it was a festival. Stone Temple Pilots were playing. Rage Against the Machine were playing. Limp Bizkit was playing.
Okay.
So it was like a cool show, but it was like Kid Rock was really early. I think it was even Rob Zombie was there also. He was earlier. Yeah, man.
Wow.
So how was the set?
Not great. I mean, it was definitely one of those, like, 'cause there was so many stuff like, you want to go get, oh, he did Bawitaba. You want to go get a beer? You want to, okay.
Yeah, it is you want to go get a beer right after Bawitaba's finished.
I want to make sure we get back for Cowboy, though. We gotta just make sure we get
I
that.
forgot about that song
That
too.
was a hit.
That was a hit.
That first record did a lot of fucking money.
It did.
Absolutely.
Because I remember it was during the, like, to get a beer, can I get a big soda during Kid Rock?
Sure.
It was, that TRL thing where it was like, well, it's better than the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
My stupid self said in 1999.
Yeah, that's how they got a lot of young men.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because they would act like that's what culture was.
Exactly.
That was
one
the
or
drift.
the other. Yeah.
That was the drift. That's right.
But they're driving through this thing. And I mean, like, these dudes, they're both dead. Everybody's dead at the end of
I
this race.
wish.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because
Fucking wish.
unsurprisingly, this ends with like two horrendous crashes. Lucas Black is in this like multiple rollover, and he's just like, wow, that was wild. We do a slow motion rollover, and the joke is like, it's so slow that he's kind of like appears weightless for a second in the shot. And what's that? Oh, it's a bottle of Tabasco sauce. Isn't that hilarious? He keeps hot sauce in the car.
You see that? Hi, Tom Tabasco here from Tabasco Incorporated. We paid $50,000 for that piece of shit. Can
Who's
you imagine?
keeping bottles of hot sauce in the car?
What, yeah. One thing about this race, I mean, I guess I would maybe if I lived in a car place. I don't live in a car.
If you're a high
place.
school student, you're buying fucking.
If you're like eating in your
Fast
car,
food
Exactly.
all the
like,
time.
I get it. I
Tabasco
get
on
it.
it.
Just like the need for hot sauce at all times.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
sometimes you can have French fries without hot sauce. It's
No,
totally fine.
That's
No,
not an
I
option.
don't see what you're
Not
talking
an
about.
option.
I
don't know
understand what you're talking about,
here.
but I don't understand what you're talking
Well,
about.
you're the fucking
This is
maniac
crazy.
that asked the server right when we put the order in for hot sauce.
That's
to come
right.
out.
I don't want her to forget it.
And you will spit in that lady's face
No,
if she
I will
forgets. He goes nuts.
Dude,
He
this
did it
guy does
once.
go
I
crazy.
do not.
He does go nuts a little bit.
What were you saying, Eric? I want to get off this topic.
Oh my God. What was I saying? Oh, this car chase
Yeah.
is interesting for multiple reasons. Number one, it's probably the best one in the movie, which
Yep.
is kind of
Mhm.
weird to front load it like that.
Yeah.
And number two, this fucking Home Improvement kid's friends are driving a pickup truck in the race, blocking Lucas.
Cheating.
Black.
Oh, yeah.
Just
The
rampant cheating.
super delicate pickup truck.
Well, yeah, they should really talk to the refs at some point in this race and be like, "Hey, do you see this?"
And when Zachary Ty Bryant is losing, his girlfriend goes to him, he's like, well, I guess I have a new prom date. And that's when he starts like Spartacusing the other car. And I'm like, I don't know, dude, that's like a lot of, A, you could kill someone. B, it's a lot of money. You're wasting your own money at this point.
Yeah.
Bumping into this guy's shithead car.
You're also wasting your own money going to prom. I'll put that out there.
Yeah.
Although he's a little fucking rich turd, so
Yeah.
you don't care none
Doesn't
about
matter.
this.
Yeah, I mean, also you got to remember Lucas Black has a not normal seatbelt, which means he can survive anything.
Well, that's true.
The fucking a tank rolls over your car, you're fine because you have the special belt there.
I gotta
Thanks
tell
a
you,
lot, Ralph Nader.
this little disclaimer at the end of this movie could go fuck itself.
Ridiculous.
It's just
What
like,
was that? What
it's
was
like,
this?
oh, wow, you just saw a lot of fun and cool stunts. You shouldn't do any of them there, kids.
Right,
I know
right.
that there are kids that look exactly like you, but
Here's
don't do
the
that.
thing. Here's the thing. When that came up this time, this is not the first time I've seen this movie, but I didn't remember that. The one right after this is where street racing is abandoned and
Yes.
we get into like super spy
Yeah.
stuff. And I wondered today watching this if this was like, all right, look, we got to do something. There's an uptick in fucking traffic fatalities. Street racing is out of control.
Oh, yeah, man.
You
Did
got
you
to
guys-
make them do things where they're like stealing planes and flying to the moon because
Right.
they people can't do that.
Kids can't do that unless they get Minnesota drifting. But did you guys like growing up? You see people like do street racing or like got really into like
Oh, yeah.
being shitty
yeah.
with their cars because
Yeah.
of this
Nas.
movie. I definitely saw it in parking lots and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
kid-
yeah. Oh, yeah.
A friend of a friend was murdered doing some motorcycle bullshit on the highway.
Vehicular manslaughter.
Yes. Well, he killed himself by being an asshole, essentially.
Oh, jeez.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's-
Vehicular suicide.
which is just and that's why this movie, it's just like, oh, here's a little disclaimer. Don't do
Yeah.
this. And I know it looks super cool and awesome, but you will literally fucking kill yourself.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
would've-
that's just like a nice legal thing for them. Because look, if you're fucking dumb enough to do that,
Yeah.
like you're gonna do that, warning label or not.
Yeah,
But a lot of kids that I knew that I was hanging out with at the time were dropping their cars and doing the lights.
Oh, sure.
the
whole-
guy who gave me fucking rides home my senior year all the time had Nas tanks
Oh, yeah.
and the fucking bass that like destroyed a street.
Oh,
like,
dude.
when you fucking turned
The
it up.
horrific bass thing I'll never. And
Yeah.
Best friends of mine had this thing.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
What are you doing?
Dude, I was at Subway like 2 days ago,
Mm.
and I'm standing there, and the sandwich artist is doing her thing, and I just start hearing this noise. I'm like, what? What is that? What is that noise? And I realize it's bass from a car parked outside of the
Sure.
Subway restaurant. And when I went out there, like, got my food and left, this car, the bass was going so much, it was shaking so hard you could hear like
Yeah.
the plastic like vibrating on like the
you should have
body of the
started
car.
knocking on the window. Can you turn the music down?
Yeah, that's how you get murdered in this town. Dude. That's-
No,
you
yeah.
just walk away going, idiot.
You walk out and you're like, what the fuck? Are the War of the Worlds aliens talking to one another? No.
Yes,
No, it
totally.
is a fucking two fucking cars with this bass.
It's the noises from Arrival. Fucking.
But you guys never know when a vortex will open up and all the pussy from 2003 will come through and be
Absolutely.
super impressed.
Look, it could happen. It could happen. You don't know.
So we go to the police station, and of course, it's like this fucking detective has a hard on to take this kid down. He's like, you see fucking Mickey and Minnie out there? Like, they're going home. Their parents mean something in this town. You're fucking garbage. And yes, of course, this is how police work should operate.
Yeah, this is how it is. And honestly, he's not wrong. This kid should go to prison for the rest of his life.
I mean, it's reckless driving. He should definitely have his license taken away and all that stuff. But no, his mother comes in and they're like, well, I guess we'll make a deal where you go to Japan.
And I hereby sentence you to Japan.
Dude,
Now-
jail or Japan? I'll take Japan every time.
After
guess.
possibly sucking this cop off, by the
Yeah,
way.
that's definitely
Probably.
Because
in the offing.
this mother gets in there and she's like already looking sexy.
It looks like a porn, yeah.
She does a like, is it okay to smoke in here?
Yeah.
And then she's doing like there's gotta be something
Oh,
we could
I
do.
didn't mean cigarettes. I meant pole.
Because then when it cuts to Lucas Black standing outside
Yeah.
a closed interrogation room, and this mother walks out with the cop, and then you realize on the other side of the frame are the other two cops that were in the scene, and I was like, Oh, they were the only 2 people in there, and now he's not going to jail.
And this cop is like, oh boy, your mama sure do love your education.
She sure does love your criminal record, boy.
And then that's how I met Elvis's great grandson.
So I got sent to Japan again.
They should dump the guy off in there.
I do.
Gumped the guy off.
Yeah.
Gumped him.
She definitely gumped.
Your mama gumped me good, boy.
She gulped the gump, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't, but that sounds great.
I'm guessing it's a weird sex thing.
She had a bump and gump came out of it and she gulped.
Well, it's actually
Sure.
it's a different kind of gumping. It's where you're with a lady and you prematurely ejaculate immediately.
Can I leave?
No,
Please?
I will finish talking to you, son.
You have me trapped on this park bench here.
Yes, so the judge sentences him to go to Japan.
And then all of a sudden he's like, look at my kingdom. I'm finally there. It's in my throat. King of Japan.
I don't understand the legality of this at all. And the dad, who we'll meet in a second, who's amazing, is just like, this is your last chance. I don't know what's going to happen after this. I'm like,
Is this part of the conditions of the surrender in 1945?
Yes.
oh, dude, you got to read the fine print. They can fucking some Alabama fucking pumpkin head get sent to your head anytime.
Yeah, all the wayward youth of America could just take over.
They're just like, wait, we allowed them to do what? Oh, that was a terrible bargain.
Absolutely. We will tell our students that they can only speak English around the white
well,
boy.
here's another question about the whole English and Japanese question. Do now and folks at home, this is where you might come into play. You're more worldly than I am. You
For
know
sure.
more. You're better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are like army brats in Japan being forced to Japanese only instruction there?
That doesn't make a ton of
Right?
sense.
When,
I
like
think
he's a
so.
Navy dad. There's presumably a base or something he
Yes.
works at. Wouldn't there be like a school or something around the base?
He does not seem to me someone who's doing work for, at least not above the
can I say-
board work
you
for
know
the
why?
military.
Because you don't know what he does because this movie has zero characterization for anyone.
No, it doesn't. You see him in naval attire once, like for a
Yeah.
half a scene, and
I don't know what he's doing besides punching hookers.
which we yes.
Yeah.
But I think like the school scene would make sense if that was like one class, like a Japanese immersion class, where it's like that's
Sure.
where you go when you
Sure.
learn
Very
Japanese.
well could have
She
been,
only
but we
speaks,
don't.
but then he goes to math class. And like, all right, welcome to math class. I'm a Japanese guy speaking English.
Yeah.
This is what how
It
you
would
do
very
math.
much likely be that, because the other thing that we're forgetting here, and you're saying like make all his friends speak English. Guess what? Kids who are educated in America, folks all over the world are taught English like it's fucking math.
Yes.
There is English language programs.
Yes.
Like this country fails so fucking hard on foreign language education.
Yes.
It's not even fucking funny. So the fact that like all the Japanese kids in this movie speak English, yep, that's absolutely plausible.
Here's the one good thing about American imperialism, right?
Sure.
Because now there's more and more listeners we could maybe have. Thank you to everyone listening in Japan.
America loves it. Meet us 3/4 of the way.
Yeah.
We're not moving. We're not moving.
All right,
No,
that's
that
a 3.5
dial's not happening.
fourths of the way. We were changing the deal.
But yeah, he shows up to his dad.
Major Boswell.
And, the dad who was in The Last Castle is the big tough guy, if you
Yeah.
remember that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, this dude works quite a bit.
He's a big tough guy. He's
Very
a big tough guy.
stern.
Yeah.
And he comes in, oh, Sean, I thought you were coming on the 7th. He's like, it is the 7th, douchebag.
This kid needs to die.
I know. I love him so
Are
much.
you done with your sex worker? Can I sleep in your house now?
This is the
And-
thing. He's like, oh, all right, give me a second here. And he's like grabbing his dick, and he comes back.
Yeah,
And
puts it fucking still streaming shit out of it. He just puts it in the pants, gets the pants all wet, and then
this
this lady,
sex worker comes out, and like, there's a couple of ways to do this. Like,
she's bruised, right?
yeah, where she looks fucking thrilled to be getting out of there.
I didn't see any bruises. She does not have a problem leaving, but the key that answers our question here is what the father says to this woman, which is not like, I'll see you, for dinner tomorrow, kiss on the cheek. He literally just goes, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
And like ushers her out, and you're like, all right, he's paying for it.
Please don't tell
but
Kasaki-san,
that's-
please.
There's a way to do that. I'm paying for it. Like if she's just like, he gives her a 20 or something, and she says, arigato, and she walks away. And you're like, oh, she's a prostitute. But no, it's like she is like scared and like
She just got out of a hostile movie.
exactly.
Yeah.
This dude was ordering off the menu in all the wrong ways.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but it's a lot of like, now listen, you don't want to be here and I don't want you here, but you're my son and this is what we agreed to. No cars. You're going to do like as if this is even has a fucking chance at all of working. This dude's just like, you're going to study, no cars. You come back here immediately after school. What, to your fucking tiny little apartment that still stinks of your cum? No.
Steve, you gave me a great idea. We were talking about the intermission, the steak intermission.
Of course, yeah.
How about this
finger
is
mission?
Yes. The sex scene intermission, full on 20-minute sex scene as your intermission. People like me, perverts, can stay and watch it and be enthralled. Everyone that's like, ew, can go to the bathroom.
You'd have everyone born after 2001 screaming out of the theater that a sex scene was.
So
What
so you want to see whatever this father was doing with this lady?
Let me just say,
listening to the Beach Boys
Chris,
while he fucking whips her.
Chris, would I necessarily?
We all could be California.
Oh shit, my fucking son's here.
He takes out a vibrator and it's good vibrations.
Yeah.
You're lucky my son's here. I'll put the chainsaw back.
Chainsaw.
I wouldn't necessarily seek it out, but if it started happening, it was just like erotic, and it was like a little once in a while it'd be like intermission.
Sure.
What you're asking is
you want
pornography in theaters again is what we're looking for.
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to take all those fucking tourist bus stations on 8th Avenue near 42nd Street and restore them to their porn glory.
Eric, pick the right day at Spectacle. Your dream's coming true. I mean, it's not out of,
Spectacle Theater nationwide. That's
wonderful.
That's our end goal.
I mean, I would love the Spectacle Theater being nationwide.
That's right. If you're ever in Brooklyn,
I'd need maybe some better ventilation. If we're if we're getting a bunch of creeps in there to watch actual pornography, I need better ventilation than that former bodega of a movie theater has.
But like old pornography, you'd have that loose, janky story around it, much like this. It's not really anything.
All right, Nebula, you ready to go? Yeah, I'm ready to do it. All right. Groot and Rocket have to have sex. Intermission.
Wouldn't you watch that?
Intermission.
Ooga.
And, he goes into his tiny little bedroom. I don't know where the dad is sleeping.
This tiny bedroom is the closet. I think the dad is in an actual bedroom, and this is a closet. You see all of his clothes, and what great detail about it is there's a window in the closet. He opens it up, and what's out there right in his face, like 5 inches away, a noodle Grampy.
Yes.
A Grampy eating noodles.
And she's very nice. She's like, hi, I have
She
noodles.
gives a little
Would you like some
wave.
noodles?
And, at least, because I was misremembering this, at least to this character's credit, he just kind of smiles and waves back and closes it. I had a false memory of him going like, good.
Noodles.
That's what I did watching it.
I do think that there is something about it's Justin Lin, because apparently, blah, blah, blah. If I could find it, he said, here it goes. Lin was not enthusiastic at first and unimpressed with earlier drafts of the script, saying, I think it's offensive and dated. I don't have any intention of doing it.
Nice.
So I think probably the original Tokyo Drift script was like, oh boy, we got it. And then Justin Lin's like, can we we'll keep the noodle Grampy gag, but it's nice as opposed to scary or something.
It was supposed to be a Burt Reynolds, Chris Christopherson film in '82.
Exactly.
And they're like, look, we have this kicking around.
Like the whole vibe, all of Tokyo would be like the cab from Home Alone 2. Ain't much better in here, kid. But just through a whole city.
Terrible as that would be, it would be something. This is kind of nothing. I'm glad Justin Lin was here to correct that stuff. But at the same time, had this movie been outright racist, it would have been.
When you're advocating for a racist film, got it.
I'm advocating for something something that would grab your attention.
Flavor.
This movie,
you want
is
some flavor.
Dull as dishwater.
Yeah. I get what you mean.
We go to school again, like we said, his teacher's not speaking English. He doesn't understand because he doesn't speak Japanese.
Yeah.
And he has to put on some flippers for the
flippers. Is that what you
I meant
just
to say slippers, but
dude, if he just walks in with scuba diving flippers, this is so embarrassing.
Japan's so weird. They have a class where they make you dress up like a dolphin and you gotta try to talk to the dolphins and all this weird stuff.
Do you know how to drift? Yeah, we're windsurfing. That's right.
Oh, hell yeah.
Get ready for the most intense, well, actually the most kind of laid back Fast and Furious ever.
Sexy
Neela.
Neela?
Neela? Getting a class of Neela?
Neela's getting classes.
She's from Oz.
She's whispering in my ear.
I gotta say,
Yeah.
when we get to the lunchtime scene here, fab fucking spread in this cafeteria,
great.
man. Again,
Well,
just another
dude,
thing to be like, American schools are terrible.
They treat it the opposite way in this movie, though, because then Lucas Black is like, gee golly, the food here is weird. And then Bow Wow is like, yeah, it's like the army. Don't ask, don't tell.
Hell of
Because
a
that
line.
food is fucking weird. Yeah, it is. I'm from America.
That's
now.
what Bow Wow
eating.
says to him, but then when he eats, you see he
Yeah, he
sits
goes,
alone in the cafeteria, he eats a piece of the food, and he's like, oh, that guy was fucking wrong. It's delicious.
The piece of food he eats looks like a huge neon gummy worm. Like I'm not even sure
We're
if it
putting
is.
gummy worms in the food.
Y'all got any of them there chicken tenders back there? What's your chicken tender situation?
There is a part when he goes and gets some, like, again, some fucking boss-looking street food with Neela, and he's like, this is more what you're talking about, because he's like, yeah, this is pretty good. I didn't even have to put ketchup on it or nothing. And it's like, man.
And what's funny, too, is like one of the first establishing shots of Tokyo is like, all right, they got the McDonald's, they got KFC. And then just to immediately do, what's this?
Yeah,
What the fuck? They don't got no Wendy's here? Where the fuck? I'm leaving.
How am I supposed to get a Frosty in Tokyo?
If I'm Bow Wow and I'm like,
Oh,
you're-
Twinkie?
exactly. If I'm like, hey man,
Twink.
Yeah.
they call him Twink the
Twink.
entire
The whole thing.
I'd
Does
be
he
like,
come
hey man,
back at all?
I would love to be in the Fast and Furious franchise. Awesome.
Bow Wow
Like-
comes back in part 9 to answer your
Yes.
question.
Oh, nice.
do we get
to see the cream of that?
like Ja Rule before me? This will be great for my career. What's my character name? Drop Down, Speed Killer. No, it's Twink. You call you Twink all the time, and you just have to deal with that. That's it.
Can I get it? That's just Twinkie every time. No, we just like the shorter version, Twink. We actually, that is one of the few things we kept from the original 1982 script. Is the name of the sidekick
Because
being Twink.
I am kind of a small guy to begin with.
Yeah.
So calling me Twink would be like kind of okay. But yeah, Twink. I mean, it means something very specific that everybody knows what it is.
Yep.
You know what Sean's father should be like? Oh, what's that? Oh, your friend here, Twink. How about a son swap?
Oh, dude,
Why
get
don't Twink's father come over and fuck you, and I'll fuck Twink?
Yeah, dude, a naval set sun swap.
Would it be the
First of all, if
first?
Sun Swap has more than 2 episodes, one of them is naval set.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
absolutely.
and or boot camp
The
set.
military
Yes, is
in
involved.
general.
Gee Willikers, Dad, you want to mop the poop deck?
now, Sean, of course, I'm not going to. This is a one-time thing with the sun swap. I'm not going to show him my Nazi plates. Those are for family interactions. We don't want to be showing them that stuff.
It's Sun Swap Minnesota Drift, which means I'm fucking someone else's son on the moon, and then someone else is fucking my son on Jupiter.
It's fucking crazy. Then, they wanted to get into some wild ideas for season 2 of that idea, and it's sun swapping, but it's me and an alien father. So he's banging my human boy, and I'm screwing his reptilian progeny there,
Yup, it's kind of like Enemy Mine, but a little spin on
Is
it.
someone fucking Lou Gossett Jr. in that movie? I never
I
saw
don't
it.
believe so.
No, but I remember it being kind of good. I remember enjoying it.
It's fine.
He's got
It's
some
on the movie.
insane makeup on in that
He
movie,
does,
right?
Yes, he
Funny,
does.
yeah.
Yeah. But imagine if they had sons.
I guess.
And they swapped them.
First
yeah.
you see they have some sons, you see. And then get this. They swap them.
This is like strangers on the train.
Yeah.
You fuck my son, I fuck yours.
Exactly.
No, yeah, that's the thing. Is I'm sorry, I can't get the full mash if we're not watching RT. I need that in the background.
Oddly enough, the characters in Strangers on a Train would be down for that.
Oh, they'd be
Yeah.
way down for
Yes.
this.
Oh, yeah,
Any
yeah,
kind of
You
swap.
get a sun swap in the film Rope. Absolutely. There's another one.
I believe the sons out of it just swap each other.
That'd be a father swap. You need to see the fathers there.
My students are swapping here. Oh, boy.
I'm going to need some rope to tie up your son to fuck him.
He's a wily one.
Mary, I'm going to pull down the moon, but not for you.
Mary, I'm going to pull down the moon for you. I'm going to pull down my pants for this son over here.
I can't believe that their son was just sitting in the desk the whole time. We're having lunch out. We're having a dinner party out here. It's amazing.
Oh, it's a weird fetish that guy's got. He loves people eating on top of his tied up son.
That's okay. My friend Harvey will get rid of all the bodies.
So Bow Wow is like, hey, let's hang out after school.
Sure, we're friends.
And so in the coolest fucking parking garage thing I've ever seen, it's like a vending machine. Tokyo's got one over on us already here.
Sure.
Really cool. And the gag here is kind of nice because it's like cool car comes down and he's like, Shay! And it's like, no, that's not my car. Cooler car comes down. Is this it? Still no. Here comes the fucking big green car. And is that a Hulk fist coming out of it?
Yes.
You better believe this is a Hulk themed racing car.
Burn
Oh,
it.
man.
Burn it. Send it to hell. This thing's the ugliest shit I've ever seen.
This is Universal, right?
Yes.
So that would make sense that they had the rights at the time.
It's a shared universe. Don't you understand?
So this
no, here I am in Tokyo getting sun swapped.
I signed up for none of this. Now, this is the elder abuse they were talking about.
You swapped me with the abomination?
I was smoking a J with another father. He said, hey, I got the son. You want to swap him?
Oh, I'll swap Kirby's son.
I gave him my son, and in exchange, he gave me a bunch of comic book ideas that I took and didn't credit him for.
And I never gave his son back. I still have his son.
So the timing of this is what? This comes out in 2006.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it set in 2006?
Well, no, it's set
when it came out. Listen, when it came out,
right.
It was indeed set in 2006,
But now it's set in like
2013 or so.
2013.
Because it chronologically takes place between the 6th and 7th.
You know how
films.
stupid this
It's
is?
incredibly
stupid.
stupid. It's
Because
incredibly
especially afterwards, when you just retcon Han to be alive anyway, the fact that you did all this gymnastics to move the chronology.
To convince 30 idiots that it makes sense.
I mean,
like, who gives a shit?
or even better. Hi, you get Sung Kang back because he's a great actor. He's the most exciting part of this movie and most of those Fast and the Furious movies.
I'm Han's brother, Curly.
That's it. That's all you need is Curly. It's like, I'm his twin brother. You never, because and people would roll their eyes, like, oh, that's a cheap way out, as opposed to this insane chronology and like redoing his death 2 to 3 different times.
Right, they
in 3 different movies.
Because in one of them, Jason Statham kills him, and that's the ending. And then in another one, we revisit it where Kurt Russell is like staging the death.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There is, if I remember correctly, a hologram involved.
It's fucking insane.
It's so dumb. And listen, I have come around on this franchise. I like these movies, more or less to varying degrees, except kind of for that first one. But like, this is dumb. Yeah. This is so fucking dumb. And if anything, it just proves never count out Sung Kang because the dude fucking rules.
Yeah.
He's played this character before. Han is part of Justin Lin's Better Luck Tomorrow.
Yes.
Which is a great fucking
really
movie.
Good movie.
Don't bet against this guy. Don't kill fucking Twinkie. Who gives a shit?
Kill Lucas Black. The thing is, this movie's biggest sin is killing Han, which was like this movie actually taking a swing at something.
Sure.
Yes.
And I wish these movies would take a swing at something instead of everyone being alive all the time, everyone becoming friends now. Like Han and Jason Statham are friends now. Abe Lincoln is friends with Vin Diesel. It's
who's not friends with anyone anymore, though, is the character that Wonder Woman played.
Gal Gadot, yeah.
Gal Gadot's in like 5 and 6 or something. And she has, when I tell you, the best death, I think, in the franchise. Really? Oh, my God, dude.
I've seen all of them, and I don't remember this, but I guarantee you, Fast 11, she's back from the dead hanging out. I would bet it.
Kurt Russell's hologram machine did it again. You'll never believe it. The plane didn't even run her over.
We all live together in a big house now, and everyone is alive. We sleep in big bunk beds. Is that okay for you, America?
We have barbecues too, just like Dominic Toretto does, but it's secret barbecue. No one can attend.
Can I give you Corona? Not that kind.
And then she sings Imagine in full.
So he
the people.
Was that the song she sang?
Yeah.
And here's the thing. She gets shit for that because, like, I think it was her idea. So
and I think she's first up top.
Yes,
she's like the JPEG of the video.
She is. And that comes with its own level of sin.
Sure.
But there's about 50 other fucking losers that got sucked into that too. And they're just as fucking culpable.
You want to be in minute 2 because everyone turns it off immediately, and it's like, oh, no one knew I was in. Dude, I'm in that video. Nobody knows. Gal Gadot asked me to do it. I was like, sure, if I'm the 13th person to do it.
Yeah, all those like past the 2-minuters, man, they lucked out. Steve, Jason Alexander.
I think it's Aaron Paul, Richard Lewis, and then Steve.
Yes, exactly.
I think that's how it goes.
So yeah, we are at like what turns into a race, but it is first like a this is like I'm not a car guy,
Sure.
and even if I were, this part is always just weird to me. Like the hanging out in a parking garage, just looking at motors and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't. I wonder if this is even a thing that how they do this. I imagine
it
not.
has to be.
It was when I was growing up. It was a parking lot, and everyone had their cool cars, and the guys would walk around, and me and my friends would be looking for drugs.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "All right, cool.
Right.
That's really. Oh yeah, that's a drop down. Cool. Oh, you got the red thing on there. I like that. What's your guy doing? Is he coming anytime soon, or is it
That I understand. Like parking lots, I understand. Parking garages, I'm like, aren't these things owned by some like major with all kinds of fucking shit on
I
it?
think it's like
maybe
the guy, like the dude at the gate or whatever.
They pay him
is
off.
crooked.
Yeah,
and
that
it's
makes
just
sense.
like
Yeah,
closed for the night.
Or the Yakuza runs it. And
Oh well, that makes
that could be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes more sense.
But
Because-
like, you could write this well. So
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
actually write a car movie well. They just don't.
It's happened 100 times. This is, I think, more to just make kids horny. Because it's just a bunch of girls with little skirts, like walking around everywhere.
Yeah, little skimpy outfits, and what the twink gives them, like tissues for when you blow your load.
Because you're gonna need them in front of everybody.
Hey, hold on. What you talking about? Twig, I ain't planning on blowing my load anytime. What?
Wait,
Twig?
I'm waiting for marriage.
No, yeah,
Like the Lord Jesus commanded.
Hey, Twig, you're a cool dude or nothing. I ain't having you jerking me off.
Yeah,
man.
listen. If I don't wait till marriage, the Lord Jesus Christ could come down here with a scimitar, cut my head off.
I can't wait for my marriage night where I get to jerk off for the first time. My wife would watch, and she will not get involved.
She goes back in Alabama. My current wife is kind of sort of married to her dad right now in a commitment ceremony. But once I get in there, he's not legally allowed to have sex with her yet. So that's
it's so much paperwork transferring over this darling's pink slip from her father's commitment ceremony to our wedding ceremony. But once I get my gal's pink slip, we will be on the way to me, 1, owning her, and 2, fucking her.
Look, when you're sitting down, we prefer to have a cold seat, or do you want somebody there to keep it warm for you? Huh? Is it I think that it's better to have a wife that's warmed up for you by her father.
she went married to her dad for a little bit. It's not a huge deal.
It's not like they're making out anything. They kiss every once in a while.
Look, it's just the commitment to her daddy ceremony. It's the law. It has to end with 1 open mouth kiss.
Thanks for keeping her warm for me, Mister.
Mr. Simpson.
So Neela shows up here. This is where we meet Han. He's sitting there doing his snacking thing.
Sure.
Love it. And then Brian T. we are introduced to as DK. He's the Drift King.
Donkey Kong? No.
I wish Donkey Kong was in this movie. That would truly be the crossover of the century.
One of those Mario Karts is a drift game, right? Is it?
Well, you kind of drift in all of them.
But I think one of them literally has drift in the title.
Rainbow Drift? I don't know.
I'll look it up.
If that's true, I've never heard of that.
Double
Mario Kart
Dash.
game.
I'm confused.
Are you thinking of
Double
Double
Dash?
Dash? That was
have they ever gone to Italy in this series? That could be something. They probably did, right?
one of those big Dominic Toretto adventures. We probably went to Italy.
When they become like Bond movies, like 6 on
Right, he's
essentially.
like driving a fucking car on the Coliseum, and all the police are like, "We can't do anything."
No, wait, we got to get this car from the UAE, and then we got to get an engine from Germany.
And here's a cameo of some guy, and there's another guy, and that's the movie.
No, he's the biggest action star in Germany.
No,
Yeah,
it's just Mario Kart 8. You can drift, but it wasn't called.
I see. So yeah, he meets this dude and he's like, what is he, the Justin Timberlake of Tokyo or what? And it's like, I don't know, what does that mean?
This
Like,
is
it's just a
crazy
handsome
by
guy
the
with
way,
a haircut?
Crazy to be saying in 2013.
It also, yes, it is. Well, I mean, he's just, I've been listening to Bawitaba the whole time, dude. Y'all got Kid Rock in Japan or what? Where's it? You got a radio station I can give this tape to?
Gee, I thought Japan was ahead of the trend. Y'all got flip phones. It's 2013, idiot.
It is so incredible. But this dude needs to stop flirting with other people's girlfriends. That is the number one problem he has.
Yep.
And that's what got him in trouble last time. Oh, shit, she seems otherwise engaged. Hey, look at her friend there that's almost as good looking, but also single.
This dude is in a sea of babitude.
Sure.
Okay? This parking lot alone, man. And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, I don't see a ring on her finger, and it's like,
and even Twinkie, who knows what's what, it's like, don't do that. That's a bad idea.
No,
Han says it later too.
I need to get the girl that's been nutted in the most. It's just my thing.
So he's like, oh yeah, that's Drift King, and he's like, Drift? What's Drift?
Oh Jesus Christ.
And so then we get into,
you know what movie you're in?
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, DK comes up to him, starts shoving him. He's like, "Oh, you're an ape or something." He calls him Gaijin, which he doesn't understand.
Right.
What's that? Are you trying to order some food?
Bow Wow is the one who
Gaijin
calls
for
him an ape, and he's like, "Oh, ape didn't have his banana this morning."
Yeah.
DK, he's being mean to you.
We get some gaijin for the table. My friend seems to want some.
And it's like, well, we'll race. And then like, you don't have a car, asshole. And then Han's like, yeah, I'll give this fucking literal cracker my car.
And he's like, Bow Wow's like, hey, you know that painting of like the weird lady smiling? And he's like, yeah, the Mona Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, this car is the Mona Lisa of cars. And this dude's like, got it. I'm also going to lie and pretend I know what I'm doing in this kind of racing situation. And he fucks this dude's car up. Like this right here, this proves, I mean, Han has a whole thing about like money's meaningless and blah, blah, blah. But like, even still, this proves the endless cool of Han that he is not strangling this kid when he finishes the race.
Because like the minute they're like, it's the best car that's ever, I'm like, okay, the car's fucking gone. The car's fucking wrecked.
And it's the beginning of the movie, he's got to lose to DK before he could beat him later.
Yeah, of course.
Do you see that 2002 Hyundai? That's like the Mona Lisa of cars.
And I'm going to give it to a baby with matches and gasoline.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is the Mona Lisa of cars when you pump like 60 grand worth of other shit into it.
What's funny is the Wikipedia for this movie.
Oh my God. I know you're talking about.
It says like the plot description lists every single car's model.
Sure. Because you got to do it, dude.
That's what people are looking for. Like, who's driving what? Oh, yeah, that's right. He does have a fucking
car. Guys are just so weird to me because it's just like, do you have more than one? Like, how does this work? How do you have the money?
But like, we're talking, let's not get lost here. We were literally talking about the Wikipedia page for the movie. That's not the fucking film's fault.
It's just a very expensive hobby.
Well, I
don't know how it's maintained, especially by teenagers.
But the thing about, I think a lot of it, like why you have a crew is that car is that dude's car. That car is that girl's car. It's not like, I mean, Han does have multiple cars and he is rich, but I don't think in all of these scenarios, it's like one person owns the whole garage.
You're doing it. You're like every couple of months. Again, I hung out with these dudes. You're getting the next piece, and then the next guy gets the next piece, and the whole thing.
But I would also believe that the Yakuza owns all this.
Oh, sure.
That they backed all these guys.
Just shouldn't be in this movie, man. I'm sorry to say.
Disagree.
All right,
they should be in it, not at all, or way more.
That's where I'm at.
DK drifts the shit out of this kid. This kid can't drift for shit.
Can't drift for shit. And I will say, in some of like the racing games that I've played, some of them will be like, all right, so on this, this particular mission, a lot of like street racing games, it's like you have to drift down this mountain. I would be this kid in the I can't even drift in a fucking video game. Like it's so I mean,
biologically, my head's a little too big to be able to drift. Actually, I gotta know for my doctor.
Throws the center of gravity all over the place with the car there.
Well, yeah, because when he does, like when he's like, he gets with DK, he's like, "Oh, we're gonna race me and you go. So, what street are we gonna go to do this? Here?
Yeah,
we're going to do it in here in the James Bond parking garage. Okay, I guess we're going to do it this way. How am I supposed to get any speed in there?
So
we're drifting.
I just turn and hit that e-brake.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Mr. Hunt, I'm going to wreck this fucking car. I don't know how to tell you that I don't know a drift. It's a breeze. I don't know nothing about wind.
Thanks for sticking up for me for aggressively hitting on somebody else's girlfriend. Awesome. Thank you very much.
I don't want to wreck the Mona Lisa. I heard this is the Mona Lisa. I don't want to wreck the Mona Lisa, sir.
This car is wrecked, though. It is falling to pieces. And the only thing that Han gets out of this is like, well, Sean had the guts to challenge DK to the race, even though he didn't know what he was doing. And he finished, even though, this dude fucking smoked him. This thing is like the fucking Bluesmobile at the end of that movie. It is on its last legs.
This character of Sean now has been shown to total 2 cars in a row, have seemingly no interests beyond, it goes fast. and just nothing. It's just a nothing character who's bad at his even one hobby.
What's worse about that, I will say this first, and like I understand it's supposed to be part of like his cool, like this is a cool guy. The fact that he isn't like deeply apologetic to Han, like on his knees, please don't kill me. I know this is like the most important thing. Like it's just assumed that he knows he's gonna be okay with it.
I guarantee this Sean guy's like, you're only free because my grandpappy came here and he sorted out Jorgito for you, pal.
And then you get kicked off that fucking parking garage right quick.
He goes home. His dad freaks out.
His dad, who's on beer 5, by the way, you gonna count at that end table.
I love it.
Been driving,
and this kid's
haven't
like,
you?
well, it seems like the party was here anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Nice dig against his old man.
Oh no! If I screw up here in Japan, they're gonna send me to Africa, which is the side of my favorite movie called Ernest Goes to Africa.
And I assume it's an accurate representation of a day-to-day life there.
Here's just like a dumb thought that means nothing.
Sure.
Just on the thinking line there of Ernest Goes to Africa.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anyone living on planet Earth right now who has seen Ernest Goes to Africa more than 10 times?
Yes, definitely.
You think so?
Yeah. It's just like it gets in the wrong house. Like this movie is so
exactly.
funny.
It's in the wrong house.
Wrong reason watching.
They pooled all their money to afford one VHS in 1998.
Exactly.
And they made the wrong bet, and now they just watch it.
And I'll tell you what, they don't even know he went to jail. They don't even know he saved
that.
They
Christmas.
think that was the first Ernest adventure.
no
They don't even know that
idea.
he wrote again.
You accidentally
Or Slam
watch it on
Dunk.
Mikey's birthday when he's 9, and then it becomes a tradition. Now
Oh,
he's 19.
sure.
We're always watching it.
I feel like when
Mikey's
you're 19,
favorite movie.
though, Mikey's got to be like, something about this Ernest Goes to Africa is a lot different than the rest of the Ernest movies. I can't quite put my finger on it.
He's growing up then. Of course, then he would find out about Ernest Goes to Jail and go with the better. Like what inspired the thing he loved.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Wrong. If you fuck up one more time, you go to Antarctica. You got to race the fucking thing, asshole.
What's that? What hey, oh, God. You've been racing, haven't you? I can smell tires on your breath. You're disgusting. I told you not to drive. Is that a wrench in your pocket? I'm going to kick the shit out of you.
There is that. I mean, it is like if you get kicked out of Japan, you go to jail. What is that?
Like, are the cops just waiting? All right, if Sean,
Yeah.
whatever his name is, comes here, we will arrest him on site.
Or would he go to like juvenile hall in the United States for like a year?
Yeah, like, okay, whatever,
What is
dude.
it?
I don't know what it would be.
Honestly,
You
clearly he
damaged-
deserves it.
Yeah.
Oh, he definitely deserves it.
But like you damaged a little bit of like a house that was being built. You crashed your own car. No one was killed. You're not directly responsible for Zachary Ty Bryan crashing.
You probably they take your license. You probably don't drive till you're 25 or something like that.
It's just like in Hackers. Like he's
Yes.
banned from computers
Right.
for a little bit. Like
Yeah.
it'll be the same with cars.
The way that the cop talks about it, it does seem like Zachary, his father, the rich father, is going to send a hitman out for Lucas Black. Like the way they said, like he better get out of town, or it's over for him. It's all over for him.
Yeah.
And with Hackers, the analogy there, I mean, they were good at computers. So far, this guy's not good at cars.
It's just
Well, do you know how many like professional racers crash? Like it's just a thing that happens. And also Zachary Ty Bryan fucked with him. It's not this dude's fault. If there wasn't interference, if there was a clean race, he could have won.
I've just seen a stone cold loser lose twice. That's all I've seen.
Well, I mean, like there is like in both in the first two Fast and Furiouses, you do get a good enough amount of like, oh, you see, your fucking did the hit is there in the bed effect.
Yeah.
It's here. And I don't really get as much in this movie because you're getting so much of the Japan. Like
when they rebuild the car at the end, it's just to call back to the other movie.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but we're not doing we got to drop this and the Nas.
Yeah,
and
That's
that
to what
part-
Eric's talking
it
about.
goes by too quick. Yes.
It's
Go
that
ahead.
like there is no sense of like this character, like there's a passion there.
Yes.
That there's this thing that he cares about. Like you
Yes.
just assume he cares about it because he's in the Fast and Furious movie.
it's just
It
hilarious
makes for
that
a better
you care
character.
about this.
I do. I want a better character. I want a better movie.
I care.
I want better movies.
I find that very funny that you're looking to Tokyo Drift for that to happen.
Sure.
Han grabs him after school the next day. Dude, I mean, like that's the thing, Han. I don't know, man. Like, stop hanging out with high school kids. Like, I would never. Could you imagine? I'm gonna turn 40 in a couple months. relying on a high school student for anything, being like, you know what, my ticket to anything is this high school student.
Sounds illegal.
Yeah, it sounds very illegal.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey man, I need you to now, you owe me a lot of money. And it's like, where's this one going?
And he's doing a whole like, I'll pay you back every penny, I swear. And I was like, how?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's like, you need to do a collection for me at this bathhouse.
And it's like, when you want to get someone like roped up into your crime world, like, yeah, you got to get him young. When he's impressionable.
Are they muscle? Can they do a muscle job? This is what he's testing here is, can you go in and fight a sumo wrestler to get what, like $100?
Actually, I played the Neo Geo game Bonk the other day, and you look an awful lot like that dude with your enormous head. And I thought you might be able to take down this sumo wrestler.
Oh, yeah. You don't know the language or any of the local customs. Perfect.
Yeah.
Go for it.
You want a dude, though, who is pig-headed and stupid enough to go after the sumo guy a second time, which is what happens here. He goes into the bathhouse and he's like, oh, hey, man, Han, money, Han, money, Han, money. And then he gets Jazzy Jeffed out of the bathhouse and it's like, oh, why I oughta. And he like gets back in there, gets thrown out again on his ass. And Han's just like, yeah, this is the guy for me. I can mold this guy. He will do whatever I say.
This guy is comic gold. Not since Harold Lloyd have I seen someone get thrown and beat up so comically.
It is pretty great watching this dude get tossed around like a rag doll by this sumo guy.
Look, if you're Han and you are just like a blanket, like rich and like we'll never have to worry about anything.
Yes.
You're going to have your death carpeted by fucking holograms. I think you're like, yeah, just have this shitty guy around because he gets thrown around a lot and it's funny to watch him get hurt.
It's absolutely funny to watch this dude get his ass kicked while I snack.
And then it's like, blah, blah, blah. You're going to be doing this. Here's a cell phone for you. I don't care. Oh, this is a 2006 line. I don't care if you're sick or in bed with Beyonce.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
You answer my phone call.
Absolutely.
This movie was made after 2000.
It sure
It
was.
really grounds you in a place.
And he, so the whole thing is he's like, all right, yeah, I'll do your pickups and drop offs if you teach me how to drift.
Yes.
Is the whole thing. I do like this sequence where like he's letting him drive the car and they're driving on the highway and he's going like 160 or something. And they pass by the cops and you see the cops like do the radar gun and he's like, oh, I'm fucked again, man. Antarctica, here I come. And then Han like explains like, oh, well, actually, all the police cars in Japan are just like factory floor. They're not like modded to go faster like American cop cars, for example. So if they see you that your car can go past a certain point, they're just not going to pull you over.
So if you wonder where the fuck are the cops at any point in this movie, that's why, because the cars don't go fast. That stops them from going in and like breaking up drug rings and shit like that. The cars don't go fast.
Japan, not much for rules in this.
No,
this one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you would be in a Japanese prison in like 4 seconds. Like 4 seconds.
That would be a good movie. Hey, what? And then he's I'm in a Japanese prison.
Tokyo Drift Express.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting whipped with a cane.
Don't look in my chest. Don't look. No.
But yeah, he starts. This is when DK is like, "Why are you with that asshole?" And he's like, "That's my business," kind of a thing. DK's got a number 2 who challenges Sean to a race here. This guy Morimoto, I believe his name is.
Yes,
he's got blonde hair, and he's like kind of fun.
Winds up being like a total coward at one point. He does get his ass kicked at some point in this movie.
Oh, no, he beats the shit out of Bow Wow.
And that's right. That's the fighting that happens there. That's right.
But first he's like, yeah, man, I'll race you anytime. He's like, well, I guess I will race you too. Hey, man, I will lose a race anywhere you want me to lose a race.
I'll show up. I will lose immediately, man.
Anyone got a car I can destroy?
You can count on me to totally blow it.
Oh yeah, I fucking shook at racing, big guy. You want to watch me lose?
You want to watch?
You want to watch me lose? You right off at racing.
I suck shit at racing. Also, I'd never none hooked up with a girl neither. So I'm going to steal your lady and then not be able to pleasure her sexually.
They call me Sean the Cooler Boswell. Because I fuck up cars like it's my business.
And this is sort of like they're becoming fast friends. This is when he starts to learn how to drift. There's like dudes fishing on a pier. Like, that's not drifting. And I'm like, come on.
Well, thank God we get the training scene.
Yes, and you know what? At the end of the movie, he's going to drift, dude.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know. And I get to see him work his way up.
It's 2006. We are
It's 2013.
Sure, 2013. Still, even more so, I would say for this point, we are too far in. We have a song, a original song that says the name of the movie in the song.
Oh, I missed it.
Well, it plays at the
Teriyaki
end, too.
Teriyaki Boys is Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. I think that's just the name of the song.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, because I had the subtitles on, and when the song starts, it's like Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift starts playing. I was like, no, it's been playing for like an hour.
I had the
What are
same
you
thing.
talking
What
about
the fuck are you talking
subtitles?
about?
Han has a good line because, like, when he goes to drop off some money to DK or whatever, Neela shows up and, like, this kid is just eye fucking this girl. And Han has a great line here where he's like, why can't you just find yourself a nice Japanese girl like every other white guy in this city?
Yeah.
So, do you miss the kangaroos?
But there's a weird thing with her backstory where it's just like, "Oi, crikey, yeah, my mom was here," and well, it's not Australian.
No, not at all.
Just keep going.
Not at
please.
all.
Keep doing it.
What, a little classic?
There you go.
Little
Classic accent.
little classic Aussie. Yeah. Yeah. Well, all right, I'm going to stop trying. Her mom dies,
Yes.
and then she's adopted by her boyfriend's grandmother.
Well, I think that she was not the boyfriend's grandmother at the time.
She was then groomed in that house.
Yes, to become.
Ooh.
There is this talk about missed opportunity. There's a great thing here where, like, the dad is fixing up a car at one point, and I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe this dude can kind of like cool off a bit and not be a piece of shit. And it's like, oh, my son likes cars. You like cars too. And this dude is just like, yeah, I found it on the base abandoned, and I alone will fix it up. Good day to you, sir.
I couldn't believe this. This would have been a great scene for them to bond, for something to happen in the movie, for the characters to grow, for me to actually hear some car talk.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Fix up this car.
Well,
Some
the craziest part about him and his dad is in like 2 scenes or 2.5 scenes, the dad just has enough, and then like you don't even see him get kicked out. All you see is Sean go to Hans at night. He's like, yeah, let's get another bunk. You never even see what that living situation is or any of it.
It's some bad editing here because I think the deal there is like he just decides to leave.
Sure.
Because the dad comes home and already all of his shit is gone.
Oh, okay. I missed it.
There's a scene where he walks in and he's like, Sean, and he opens the door and everything is gone and folded back up. So like he just leaves to go live with Han, which honestly, like I would do. My fucking father's making me live in this weird closet.
Because that's the thing is it's that fight against like high school movie. Does my dad matter? Or Yakuza movie? Does the street race gang that I'm with matter? And it just turns into a Yakuza movie, which is fine. But
but also like 5 years should pass.
Yes,
and then he's
exactly.
battling gangsters.
I mean, he brought his accent from Friday Night Lights. I think you have to also bring a drunk Friday Night's dad with you.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
You have to have one of them there just in case.
Oh, dude, what if Dwight Yoakam showed up from Sling Blade, dude? That guy's one of cinema's greatest villains.
Who's the dad, the drunk dad in that movie? It's another country musician.
It's a country music guy, Tim McGraw.
Yes.
I think it's Tim McGraw.
He's fucking wasted through that whole movie.
He's beating the shit out of Taylor Kitsch.
The round here is the school fight where it's like, Neela is like, oh, you got to get upstairs. And here's like Bow Wow getting his ass kicked on the roof of the school. Nary a teacher in sight.
Nope, not at all.
And
I'm in there saying, keep going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So good, guys.
In Japan, if you punch so fast, the teachers know they can't break it up, so they just don't even try.
They all have like speed guns. Like, I'm not going to do that.
Oh, those fists and kicks are flying way too fast.
They've seen it all happen, They've got Mortal Kombat and,
My fists only go 10 miles per hour. I can't keep up with this.
But this is the thing from like the high school movie or whatever that I do despise, which is Twinkie, the Bow Wow character, is that trope of like, I'm always making a sale and I'm selling things. You need Air Jordans? I got Air Jordans. You need an iPod? I got an iPod.
I'm so good I could sell condoms to a monk.
That's kind of funny.
I guess.
They don't fuck. It's funny. What would he need them for? And this kid sold them successfully.
Yeah. Is this 1987 or 2013 or 2006?
I think this story is just floating through time like some Doctor Strange spell was on it.
But this, he he cools say, hey, stop beating the shit out of my friend, please.
But it's a real like, I need this kid to take a swing. And I get like, this is where they're like, he's growing. Like he didn't help the chubby kid out back home, but he's going to help this kid out. And I was like, nice. Rock'em sock'em robots time. And he's like, you can have my iPod instead. Try not to break this one. You have a good day now, sir. And I was like, wait a second.
Back in my school in Texas, California, I let a little boy get killed in the hallway. I'm not going to let that happen again. I watched that boy burn.
Yeah, they burned that fat piggy up, man. That was pretty gross.
Teacher slept through the whole thing, man. That's America.
Didn't wake up. All the screaming didn't wake up. And yes, okay, yeah, maybe I ate a little of it with the boys too. I also did that. Yeah, we do it, Texas barbecue. We love it. But no, now I will do something for my friend Twink.
But this Bow Wow's like pissed off about it.
Yeah.
You know, he's just like, now everyone's going to be wanting a refund on what? Your corrupt merchandise? Like, what is this? Don't you have fucking math class?
That's like, again, like such like a quick, like, I mean, it's kind of a character, right? He steals shit and sells it to other people. We don't actually talk anything about it. He just gets in trouble.
It's the same obnoxious angle that they give fucking Damone in Fast Times, where that dude's whole thing is he fucking comes in 2 seconds and he can get you concert tickets.
Yes.
But Neela's like, wow, you handled that pretty cool. Let's go out on a date. This is when they go on a date. It's like,
this is the whole, like, I have to put ketchup on it.
Yeah, she's like, well, she says initially, like, yeah, my mom came from Australia. She was a hostess here, and then she died, and then like DK
didn't DK say that, like, yeah,
she's a prostitute.
Yes.
She's like, oh yeah, your mom is the biggest trick in all of Tokyo.
Jesus Christ.
And but it is a weird thing where she's like, yeah, she went to go work at the hostess station and never came home. And you're like, ooh, that's brutal.
You know, she probably saw fucking Sean's dad. That was the last thing she ever saw.
Oh yeah, dude, that's a fucking David Fincher movie waiting to happen right there. The Tokyo Ripper.
Ooh, an Australian one, excellent.
The Navy's involved somehow. It goes all the way to the top.
Han, there's a nice little like bonding scene with him and Han. This is where Han's like, I almost did the Sean voice. He's like, I didn't need a good, racer. Those are a dime a dozen. I don't give a shit about cars. I need someone I can trust to bring into my like side hustle of the criminal enterprise. He's got a good line here where, because this dude's like, you don't sound like you're from Tokyo or nothing. And he's like, yeah, I grew up in the States, which Sung Kang did. He's a Korean-American actor from Georgia. And it's kind of, they take a detail from this movie and use it for the 9th movie, which is kind of interesting, where he says like, he got into some hot shit. And he's like, when people in the States, like when you get in hot shit, what do? Flee to the border of Mexico. Yeah. And he's like, Tokyo is my Mexico, which they link back in the 9th movie when they're looking around for clues and like Han left whatever. There's an apartment with the Mexican flag in it, which is kind of interesting. So, but
at least they brought that back, I guess.
Yeah, there's like something from it, But yeah, so this is their whole like bonding scene over the food. You had a horrible life, so did I. Yeah. We're both, your parents are definitely dead. Mine might as well be dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then DK finds out that she's dating him. He comes over, beats the shit out of this kid. He's like, if you keep this up, the next thing you're driving is going to be a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah, dude. Take that, motherfucker.
It's pretty direct threat. And I mean, like, again, this is the Yakuza, and many people need to be like, dude, do not fuck with this guy.
That's the thing. It's like, he's kind of like, oh shit, he's a Yakuza. And he's like, well, actually, his uncle is Yakuza. And he's like, I never fucking mind it. Who fucking cares?
Oh yeah, we never. You can fuck with families of gangsters. That's
no problem. They like that. They love it. What mafia famously of all stripes hates their own family.
But I think what is the funny line there though is he's like, because Sean is like, how could you do that, man? He's Yakuza. And he's like, no, his uncle's Yakuza. He likes playing gangster in his stock room, which is pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. When Sonny Chiba shows up in the movie, woohoo. Love Sonny Chiba. When he's like, oh, your friend Han is stealing from you. I'm like, is he? Because I've not seen any of that in this movie.
He totally talks about it, dude. There's a whole thing where he's talking about like, oh yeah, like I take this money and that's for me. And then Sean is like, but DK don't get mad about that. And he's like, it's a criminal enterprise, man. We all steal from each other. It doesn't. There is a thing where he totally lays it out.
It's in script.
That Han is totally skimming off the top. Which again, Han. That's
also not how crime
man.
actually works. Yeah, it's like, oh no, everybody's still no, not really.
Yeah.
But man, it's a bummer that Sonny Chiba is drifting through this movie because this is right off of like Kill Bill, kind of a resurgence for him. And I feel like maybe because he just hasn't much to do.
Well, they used the song from the same band from Kill Bill too, the 567s.
Well, that's
right after the beginning, they used the Barracuda.
Yeah.
That's too much. That's too much. And I recently I've been watching his filmography lately. I mean, the Street Fighter movies, amazing.
Where are you? Are these like?
I've just been buying Blu-rays.
Oh yeah, because I was gonna say, is this the unwatchable Amazon transfer shit? Because like,
no.
There's so many cool movies that like when you get that on Amazon, it's like, oh, this was like ripped from a burning VCR.
I hate that shit. No, Shout Factory, I think, put out some.
Okay.
And they're Yakuza Wolf movies, which are also very good and very sleazy, at least especially the first one. And everyone should watch the Yakuza Wolf
I'm
movies.
getting excited about the
yeah.
idea of this.
Yeah.
Oh, I have no doubt they're better than this movie.
Yes.
But yeah, he comes on and he's like, hey, your friend is fucking you over, and therefore he's fucking me over, and you're fucking child kind of thing.
There's a weird thing, and there is some good Sonny Chiba acting here because it's kind of
this goatee is deplorable. It's a
bad.
really bad goatee.
I mean, find me a good one. All right,
That's a fair point.
A good portion of that is the hat. The fedora there is doing.
It's
So
a
it's
real
2006. No one looked good. I get it.
but it's a Pope's exorcist hat that he's got on.
Yeah, he walks in.
Didn't get on a Vespa.
He
sadly.
walks in looking like Lou Bega.
Yeah,
Yakuza number 5.
I don't know.
But there's a line. It's kind of insinuated that Sonny Chiba murdered his own brother because he picks up the framed photo. It's right after he makes the threat about like your friend's stealing from me. You should know that, right? And he looks at the photograph and he's like, "Oh boy, I sure do miss your dad." And like the line that's not spoken there is like, "You remember what I did to him?" Because he's like fucking. The funniest part is like Sonny Chiba walks out. It's like, "And a good fuck you to you, sir. Goodbye." And he leaves. And this dude DK is just standing there crying. Total coward. The classic like progeny of gangsters. He's a total full of shit coward.
Yeah, like your classic. What's his face in Vincent Cassell and Eastern Promises?
Oh yeah, yep, totally
similar character.
Ted Knight's nephew in Caddyshack. Very similar. These characters, they show up everywhere.
So now he pulls a gun on Han. He wants to kill him. And
yes, he rolls up to the warehouse. Han's got an interesting line here where he's just like, "What's the big deal that I took this money from you, dude? You'd still be robbing tea houses if it wasn't for me." And I was like, ooh, the early days of like DK upstart shitty criminal. I'd see that. That's a good bonus feature I'd watch for 20 minutes.
Busted into these tea houses while these like 50-year-olds being, what?
There you go.
You want the money?
The flashback, 20-minute flashback to the tea house robberies. That is your intermission.
It's like
intermission.
So not the sex. So it's not the sex this time. This time it's
dude. I'm just saying, give us a long bonus scene.
Okay,
here's
and
the
that
thing.
could be the intermission.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know, we rewatched Inglourious Bastards over the weekend. And it was the first time I'd seen it in a while. And again, like QT is just one of those very like literary directors where like, again, that's a movie with chapters in it, just like most of his movies. You could do that here. Cause again, like when you get the chapter breaks in those QT movies, it's like pause, time to go to the bathroom halfway through Inglourious Bastards.
Yes.
It could be the same thing. Like, you know, chapter 4, the race that kills Han, pause.
Oh, wow. It's weird that they put that right there. I guess I'll see when I get back from the bathroom.
That would be like a QT thing, though, right? Like the death of Han or something like that.
I do think, though, we need like over 100 minutes before you start talking chapters in your movie.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I there was nothing else in my theater, so I ended up going to see the Sisu.
Yeah.
And that movie has chapters.
You can't have a 90-minute movie
90
with chapters.
minutes.
No.
Let's call it a paragraph 1, paragraph 2.
Subsection
Yeah.
A.
And
minutes
it's
with
several,
chapters.
too. It's going over 5. Like, I think there's 6 or 7.
No, you can't do that.
But yeah, so everyone's like, all right, let's start racing to the street because that's what we do. It's a Fast and Furious movie. They get in, they're driving around. It's a good chase scene. This is where Morimoto fucking eats shit. This kid dies, right? He's dead. Unless he comes back.
I'm sure he's fine.
I mean, you don't see him for the rest of this movie. At least.
Oh yeah, Mr. Nobody's like, here's a hologram for you as well.
Oh, maybe
sir.
you know what? They probably took Mr. Nobody took that little kid's body and replaced it with Hans or whatever.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yes, there
Take
you
the
go.
teeth, rip the teeth out.
No one was going to
Absolutely.
miss him anyway. Kurt Russell.
I do think if you're gonna do it, if this is a real death, you should get what the character should like turn into the like an animated ghost like the weasels in Roger
I
Rabbit
like that.
and just float up like that just to let me know it happened for real because
Yes.
who knows, it could be holograms.
Yeah, that's proof he's gone, man. See, look, he's flying up to heaven.
Yeah,
now.
Paul looks
You
great.
Got it.
I can't believe all of the fucking rigmarole to bring this character back. Like
If
he
you're
was
Son
a popular.
Kang, though, aren't you like totally flattered?
It's great. Again, just twin brother is so easy. I would honestly even clone is easier.
That's
Obviously-
fine.
Oh no, it's the clone of Han. Han too. He's still family though because it's the same genetic
You
code.
know, absolutely. I mean, this is a franchise that already had a super soldier serum, right?
Exactly.
So,
Clone is totally fine.
yes.
Look at that, cars in space. Leave
Yes.
it alone. Of course you could clone.
That's
then-
before
then
the
you're
jump.
But then you're doing this Friday the 13th-esque thing where you're making this movie take place 7 years later, and it makes no fucking sense.
It's pretty dumb. We need what this movie needs.
And by the way, this movie did not see Barack Obama coming, is all I'm going to say. This movie has no idea that Barack Obama is going to win.
How would they telegraph that in the movie?
I'm just saying.
Listen, I was watching the DNC in 2004. That response was not worth shit. Barack Obama's not going to be anything.
I'm just saying specifically, like this movie is so set in a Bush era,
Yeah.
fucking
It is.
2006,
Yeah.
2007.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it just has no idea what the next couple of years are going
the
to be.
good times were never going to end. dude.
Exactly.
The surge worked, okay?
Yeah, this is my car. It's called Mission Accomplished, baby. Hong Kong.
That's why it's never fucking won a race.
I do think that this whole chase is
It's
really
good. Yes,
excellent.
it is.
The car racing shit in this movie, I still think is very good.
They're drifting. They're drifted, baby.
It's kind of wild because it's like this chase happens right when he like masters drifting.
Yes.
Like Sean's like, "Oh, I got it," and it's like, "Okay, cool. You better be ready to put it to the test immediately because we're in a street race." And then Han gets nailed by the Mercedes or whatever it is. The car blows up. And for the purposes of this movie,
He's dead.
the
He's
dude
just
is dead.
Yes.
Which is the right way to do it.
And we all mourn for exactly 2 minutes, and then we're gonna get DK.
We gotta get him.
Yeah, we're gonna get him.
Because DK wants to get them first. He goes, Sean moves back with his dad. He's like, yeah, man, that dude I was hanging out with kind of got murdered. How's your prostitute doing? That's pretty good.
This is crazy though, because DK like pulls this gun on him, and
Yeah.
it's like a where do you think you're going or whatever, and then this dad is just like, not so fast,
Yes.
Drift King. Oh yeah, you don't think the old timer heard of the Drift King of Tokyo?
Well, yeah. Oh, DK, that's your name. Well, it's going to be Dick Killed if you don't get off my lawn. I'm going to blow it right off.
And then this specifically right here, I don't have a problem that, the mafia is in this movie. We've seen children go up against the mafia
Sure.
before and things. It does not matter to me. What I do think is ridiculous is Sean's solution to this whole thing is he's going to take all of that money that Han was stashing away, and he's like, well, I gotta go see Kamata. I'm just gonna go to Kamata. We gotta settle this like men. And I'm like,
No.
you can't even vote in the United States yet. What are you talking about? You gotta settle something with a gangster.
I'm going to go over there and get shot in the head.
I just
totally.
listened to a segment on NPR about the Yakuza. I think I understand all their ways and traditions. So I think I'm going to figure this out right nice, me and Kamata.
I needed to watch that there Paul Schrader movie to figure that shit out. Well, he wrote it, right?
He
Yeah,
did
yeah,
write it. He
yeah,
did not
Yakuza,
direct it. With Bob Mitchum. Yeah,
Never saw it.
good movie.
Yeah.
Kind of long.
I've never seen it.
What was the
I've
title
meant
again?
The Yakuza.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was confusing it with Black Rain in my head for
yes,
a second.
that's
yeah.
Oh,
Mike
Michael Douglas movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Where we're also dealing with Japanese
Oh,
gangsters.
yes, yes.
That I've never.
That's the
seen.
Yakuza. Oh, yeah. Baby.
Yeah.
But he's like, hey, man, I'm some gaijin piece of shit that's not even taking my shoes off coming into your club or whatever. Here's your money. We're good, right? And it's like, well, no. And it's like, well, what if I challenge your nephew to a race and the loser has to leave town. You ever see that movie Better Off Dead where they're skiing down at the end of it? I don't really have a booger type on the side of me, but that's kind of what I'm thinking is the end of this movie.
Mr. Kamata, before the Star Wars George Lucas man made those pictures, he made a movie called American Graffiti, and it features a really boss scene where they drive down. I think we can get something. We can get something going here, Mr. Kamata.
All right, now actually, let me just we're gonna go man to man here, manos y manos. That's not something you say that much, but here it is.
That much.
What if
There's Mexican.
you ever hear that there? You ever hear that there, Kid Rock? What I want to do is ball with the ball. You understand? I want to get in the pit.
Ball with the ball. Yes.
I would like to get into the pit and love someone. You understand?
The stakes are, if I lose, I get to go home to America, which I'll probably do it anyway. And then if your nephew loses, as a Japanese guy, he can't go to the #1 city in Japan.
Yeah, his homeland, and that's not dishonorable or nothing, right?
You remember, sir, I'm sure you're familiar with this. You remember about, Lord, it'd be about 2000, maybe 2001. The Undertaker and Mankind fought in a loser leaves town match, and whoever lost, I guess, they just had to leave the town that the pay-per-view event was in. I get the stakes for that were kind of confusing.
Picturing Sonny Chiba nodding along. Oh yes, the Undertaker.
Oh, I know him well. Yeah. Oh yes, Paul Bearer was his manager.
Oh,
Yes.
so that's interesting. I was funny. I'm the head of the Yakuza. You're just some gaijin asshole fucking with my money, which usually results in death because I would just shoot you right in the head, and you're in my club, and I would just murder you. Take this money. No, but I will acquiesce. I would love a good race on the mountain.
Well, it's also
with the Undertaker. The Undertaker is going to be there.
Okay. Oh shit! I got to produce the Undertaker in 5 days.
If DK didn't have the hubris to be like, I beat him before,
Yeah,
and then now Sonny Chiba's just like, well, then you can do it again.
Right.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be so hard for you to do it again.
If he just shut the fuck up, swallowed his pride during this, your problem might have been killed and dumped in a river.
Your uncle has a collection of severed tongues in one of the rooms of his house.
Yep.
I'm sure it's fine that he would just kill this kid.
He's just talking. That head would look good on my wall. Yeah, no, continue. Yeah, go ahead.
It would be funny if he was like, well, it's been a slow month around here. We've been so busy, doing all our mafia-ing that we haven't time for fun. Yeah. And if it's one thing, me, Mr. Kamata, as the head of this outfit here, I like my gangsters to have some fun. So this car race, something to do for the fellas. We can get out on a Tuesday night. It'll be nice.
By the way, Lucas Black's head on the wall. You better have a stud finder. Get a couple, at least 2 or 3 mollies in your screw to hold that fucking noggin on the wall. My God.
Yeah, you're going to screw that in there? Yeah. Better have anchors in the wall first.
Seriously.
It'll rip right out of that sheetrock.
But then, that lousy son of a bitch DK fucked with their car, so now he doesn't have a car to race.
The cops took them all.
Oh, the car.
Because they go to the garage and there's just like fucking police tape everywhere. And they're just like, the cops took everything. Oh, except the beat up Mona Lisa.
All that's left is the Squid Game bunks that we sleep in and this piece of trash that I turned into trash.
We do have a couple of those, like, what do they call them? Those hotels.
The dormitories, yeah.
No, even smaller
than
like
that. Pod things?
The pod hotels. Because that's what you see that when they first walk into his garage, there's like a row of like 4 pods and then another row on top. And fucking Bow Wow is definitely getting in one with a lady. Oh, yeah. But yeah, so it turns out the engine on that car is totally fine. Yes. So we're putting this engine in the dad's muscle car. And again, this has to be a thing where the dad is helping them do the fucking repairs.
It's all a montage. The dad like nods, like, now we are okay. But no, there needs to be like, Dad, I totally screwed this one up. But if I just get one like a scene in a movie that would happen.
Yes.
And the dad is like, you have proven yourself to me.
Because he doesn't they try that and it doesn't even really come to anything because it's just this like, because the dad is like, this is stupid. You should just get out of here or whatever. And he's like, Dad, I can't keep running from my problems anymore, or whatever it is. And I'm like, all right, but all of this could be accomplished by like you just showing the father and son working on the car together with everybody.
Exactly.
And the dad's like maybe palling around with Bow Wow or something. Everybody's getting along in this montage. Whatever.
He stops, having sex / beating up sex workers, and he puts that money towards the new car that they're going to make.
He takes off the knife dildo from Seven. It's like, you know what? This is enough of this.
I'm not gonna have any hookers this weekend so that you can afford your car.
He's got the knife dildo and he's just like, my son told me to hawk it, and I did. So whatever, man. They have the big race, down the mountain.
Drift Mountain, baby.
Drift Mountain. There's some, like, Neela has some story about, like,
it's where drifting was invented in ancient Japan.
They used to do it with horses.
Oh, yeah, dude. You ever try to see someone drift a horse cart? Holy shit. Instant fatality every time.
You just pull that e-brake, which is, I don't know, it's eyeball.
The base of this mountain is built on horse ankles from hundreds of years.
Yeah, the mountain's only yay high, but then all the horse bones takes that elevation.
What with the horse drifting we were doing?
Yes, it would be called a drift hill if not for the horse ankles.
So whatever. This race is at night, kind of conveniently, because we're doing a little bit of CGI cars.
We are.
I wish I could see more of it.
We're doing a lot of we're watching this on our tiny Motorola cell phones.
What is this? What is this?
It's fucking 2013
flip phone network that they have, though. Like, this is a live stream that they're all like giving footage to. I don't understand this.
Don't make the 2013 joke. Okay, Japan isn't like known for technology or anything.
No, they're not.
Okay,
they're famously behind.
They're behind us by like fucking 2 decades.
Yeah.
We do one too many. Like, holy smokes, the tire's going over the cliff, and I'm like, you get like 2 of those, it's pretty hair raising. You do 7 of them, that's a problem.
It is the least exciting race of the movie by a lot.
It is,
I
absolutely.
agree.
Yep.
And when DK rolls over, this is when the movie is in total conflict with itself, because the Yakuza parts, and then he dies because that settles the score with him and Han.
Right.
But then the high school bullshit part is like, no, he lives, and his uncle is like, you've been a naughty boy, and we go the other way. You know what I mean?
Sonny Chiba was just the cool dad. Like, you kids can have wine coolers in the basement.
As long as I'm home and you kids aren't driving, you can have the wine coolers in the basement.
It's just you're right. It takes the teeth out of anything.
Yes, he needs to die because he killed my favorite character of the movie. You know what I mean? Like, that's movie math.
Even if he lives through this, like, have the uncle kill him.
Yes, or like imply like, he'll never be in Tokyo again or anywhere else, kind of a thing.
Yeah, totally. And then some Sonny Chiba lackey gets in a car and drives after him or something. That would be kind of cool.
I'd like that.
Because if they insinuate this dude had his own brother killed or possibly even did the deed himself, he's got no problems killing the shitty nephew.
Also, I mean, we're in Fast and Furious here, folks. DK can come back from the dead anytime he wants.
That's so true.
That Mr. Nobody's got sticky fingers with the souls.
So many holograms.
Ooh, maybe though it's like DK, like Kurt Russell's like, yeah, he was way too mashed up there, man. But we made him into a robot, kind of.
The head didn't survive. Just got the body
and a fucking robot.
And we put a robot brain on his body. That's what survived.
Sounds excellent.
But the day is saved, and he's got the lady friend now, and we go back to the parking garage.
But this is when a couple of people at a test screening said 0, and they are like, "No, this movie doesn't work anymore."
Yep. Because this movie here is like Halloween 3.
Yes.
If at the end of Halloween 3, Michael Myers came in and challenged fucking Tom Atkins to a street race. Because it's like everybody's hanging out, having a good time. And then Bow Wow's like, hey man, there's some guy here to see you. Says he knew Han. And he's like, I ain't racing tonight. And he's like, said Han was family. And you fucking know the second that F word was uttered in the theaters, people were like, oh,
the other
going
F-word.
Fucking crazy, And here he is, Vin, with, I think he may have had this car imported over to Japan for this whole thing.
Yeah.
I think it's his car, he likes those American muscle cars.
Yeah, we filmed in LA probably. But
yeah. And it's just you ready to go, kid? Oh, yeah. Oh, let's do it. Blah, blah, blah. I'm a friend of Han. And we sort of just race off. And that's the end of it. Except you get, that terrible Fast and Furious song. And also some of the absolute worst credit crawl I've ever seen.
I turned it right off. I don't know if was there a stinger.
Yeah,
I turned it right off.
There's no stingers, but you can't at any time read the credits really, because so it's like white credits over, black background, and then they've got like skid marks across the whole thing, so there's tire tracks everywhere, and
just
then
like my underwear.
the text, it's like a bad screensaver. It's like it kind of just like rotating back and forth and then spins around.
What are you talking?
And settles itself
I
for a
was the
second.
gaffer. Let me fucking have my moment.
No.
Dude, and like you're trying to, I'm like, okay, so who was this person? Text flips around.
Yeah.
What was the name of that character? Text flips around. I was getting nauseous. And the movie was over with, and I was still, oh, it's just dumb, man. But that is the end of the movie. Yes, they have spawned, at least as of a few weeks from now, 7 more or 8 more if you count Hobbs and Shaw of these movies. But final thoughts and recommendations, Chris Cabin.
I enjoy this. I'm not going to say you have to run out and see it. If you have I think it's a good lazy afternoon movie. It is essentially like a Karate Kid type thing, where it's like, you're learning something new, I guess, vaguely. But it's enjoyable in that way. I like that the Fast and Furious movies get more insane. I say go more crazy. That's always my note with this kind of movie.
Oh yeah.
And by 7, they're starting to get real nuts, but 8 fucking sucks. But anyway, yeah, I enjoy this. I think it's totally fine. I kind of have no opinion about Lucas Black. He's fine. Bow Wow. That's fine. That's fine that you did that.
Steve Sadak.
Yeah, I famously don't like these movies. I just
famously.
don't. Because I mention it every time we talk about them, and I'm quite famous these days. No,
Yeah.
and I just I don't.
Oh.
I've never liked any of these movies. This one maybe is the one. Like if somebody was like, "You have to watch a Fast and Furious movie, or I'm going to shoot you in the head tomorrow," like maybe just put on that Tokyo Drift because it's the least like the rest of them. It's got the least of the characters that I absolutely hate. I just don't have fun with those other movies. But this one's like, there's a world in which this is just a high school movie with the Tokyo Drift in, and I'm having a much better time because I think that it doesn't carry the rest of those stakes well. And it just it's a mishmash of things. It's a not recommend, but it's probably my highest recommend of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Okay.
There you go. Eric Siska.
What Chris was saying about the Karate Kid thing is the Karate Kid had so much heart. You gave a fuck about him getting through school.
That's true.
You cared about the girlfriend relationship. You cared about the mentor relationship. I just wish I had something to care about here. But I'm sort of like Steve, where I don't like a lot of these movies. And I don't like this one much either, but it is one of the more watchable ones. I just wish, like, even in genre filmmaking, if we can just be like, you got to give a little something to it. So it's a not recommend towards a light recommend. That's just me.
Yeah.
It's a recommend for me. I think it's no secret. I think I probably like these the most, which is weird because I feel if you listen to like our Fast and Furious episode, I'm like, absolutely not. Fuck it. Fuck these movies.
Well, that first one, fuck that movie.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know what happened. Something along the way just clicked differently. And I'm like, yeah, I'm with you, Chris. Like the dumber, like go to fucking Mars. I don't care.
I was waiting for it.
I'll meet you on Jupiter, big guy.
Oh yeah, and we better not be swapping nothing. It's just alien fighting. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this one, these all like play differently for me every time I rewatch them.
Yeah.
This one, the last time I watched it, I looked at my letterbox.
I noticed that
1.5 stars. This, I was like, 3, and then Sonny Chiba's hat brought it up to like a 3.5. I don't know. Like, it's whose line is it anyway, man? Ratings mean nothing.
Sure.
These movies just do it for me. And I don't know why. I do have a driver's license. But other than that, my association with car and car culture is non-existent. Maybe that's why. Maybe I feel like the alien looking at all of that
you're like
shit.
living through the movie now. Like,
yeah, vicariously. I'm drifting,
Right.
dude.
Yeah.
I'm invited to the barbecue with Vin. Which that is, man, that's the one thing though. Oh, actually the second one doesn't it. Those two movies ending without a barbecue. That's fucking
Unbelievable.
tragedy.
Unbelievable.
That is going to do it for this episode, gang. As always, if you want more We Hate Movies, check out patreon.com/We Hate Movies, We got a real banger of a We Love Movies episode this month, all about James Gunn's Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 1.
Which actually, to Eric's point, they really go out of their way to make you care about those characters.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Which we talk about in great detail.
We do. We enjoy the movie, and I'm sure it's going to be very interesting, the response to that.
Warm performances that are from people that aren't Lucas Black or Bow Wow.
This poor guy is just getting dragged across.
He's great in
calls.
Friday Night Lights. I really
He got
like him in Friday Night
$4
Lights.
billion for being on 4 million episodes of NCIS. I don't know,
is he on that?
Chattanooga. I don't know which one. Whichever one he's in.
I'm your naval lawyer here in Chattanooga.
That's interesting. So I didn't know he was on one of those shows. What was that? He was in that Robert Duvall movie that wasn't half bad.
I mean, Sling Blade's a really great movie. He was kind of a good little kid actor.
What is that movie? It's a two-hander. It's like him and Robert Duvall. Fuck, I forget what the name of it is.
Lucas Black and Robert Duvall.
Wow.
Yeah, I forget what it's called.
Here it is. He was on NCIS New Orleans, not
course.
Chattanooga. I apologize.
Well, that kind of makes more sense.
Yeah.
Port City and whatnot.
Well,
the
Steve,
Navy
while
would
you
be
got
around.
that up, find his Robert Duvall.
Yeah, what
Is it
filmography.
Promised Land? No.
Well, you actually go and
Get
look
Low? No.
It might be
the-
Get Low.
That's one with Bill
Yes.
Murray.
No, it's Robert Duvall and Bill Murray, and he's in that as well.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, great.
He's in Get
All
Low.
right.
He's also in a Stay Tuned, by the way. The Paul Bettany Evil Angel movie
Oh,
Legion.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
I never bothered with
That's
that.
Awful
Stay
fucking movie.
Tuned.
Yeah,
Speaking
see, I'll
of-
watch the car action movies and not hate them. Steve will watch the fucking religious devilish
Any
movies
day
and not
devil
hate
horse
them.
shit, I'll watch it.
Speaking of
Yes.
Stay Tuned like stuff, we got so much stuff on Patreon. The Nexus, we talk about Star Trek episodes. Melrose 210, we talk about Beverly Hills Wino, I almost said.
Yeah.
That's gonna
Wow.
be
You
me.
sound like a Beverly Hills wino.
I'm about because we just got back from sunny California, and I am a Beverly Hills wino. Beverly Hills 90210 and Melrose Place. We recap episodes of that. The Gleep Glossary, where we talk about Star Wars characters this month. The Fat Dancer. I didn't call her that. They did in the end credits of Return of the Jedi. Yarna Del Gargan going to be on the show.
Going to be on the show. We got Animation Damnation, of course, and not this month, but next month. And you can show up for Once in a Lifetime. We're doing those, of course.
That's right. Next month on Once in a Lifetime will be our return to Stalked by My Doctor.
Oh, yeah.
Terrence
That's
Eric
right.
Roberts.
You're going to want to catch up. Those are some legendary episodes we've done on those Lifetime movies.
I gotta say, our Lucas Black impression very close to the Eric Roberts.
It's coming. It's coming
Just put
there.
that out there. But as always, here on the main feed, We Hate Movies has a new episode next Tuesday. Steve, what are we talking about?
We're doing a lot of great live episodes for people in public, but now we're doing one for you,
That's
the
right.
listener. This is our episode from Toronto, Canada, on Saw 4.
Oh yeah. Now, if you want to talk about a movie that is filled with rich characterization and high stakes and and fleshed out.
Okay, all right. Fast and the Furious is much better than Saw. Yes.
So until next week, when we're live from Toronto talking Saw 4, I've been Andrew Chupin.
Steven Zadak.
Eric Sisko.
Chris Cabin.
Take it easy.